start crying. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you're not gonna laugh.
I'm not. I want to start off, because if I don't, I will forget and I will hate myself for this later. I want to give a very special thank you to PSLOD, especially to David Dunn and Mr. Mike. The entire club has been a huge support to me from when I was here a year ago, vying for Mr. Palm Springs and going into IML. I also want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Adrian and Greg at Rough Trade for all the work and support. A huge shout out to Paul at Off Ramp, who sponsored me to be Mr. Off Ramp in the first place. As well as a thank you to actually my employer, Rob, over at Division Menswear. Even back from when that was Palm Springs Piercing, he has been a valued member of this community doing some really good work for a long fucking time. And I'm trying not to look over in this direction because I will lose it, but I also want to give a huge, super thank you to my daddy Doc, his husband James, and my boyfriend James. Please stand up. I would not have survived without this support. As Mr. Durbin lovingly pointed out, I moved to the desert in 2017. I moved here from Edmonton, Alberta, on love and a prayer to come and be closer with a man that I'd been together with for 4 years at that point. I left a community that I had been a part of for 11 years, doing advocacy, doing charity raising, doing outreach, and I was terrified. And there it goes. The Palm Springs community opened their arms to me in ways that I don't think I could have predicted on my best day. I came down here to obtain further education. In 2019, I finished my classes to get both a computer science and an associate's degree in computer science, as well as mathematics. And my graduation ceremony was spring of 2020 on a Zoom call. But in 2020, right before the world closed, Dave at the Barracks said, "Hey, do you want to boot black at the bar? I'll give you Sundays." And I said yes, because I didn't have a home to practice my passion yet. And little did we know that soon after that, everything would be taken away for a while. The world slowly started reopening, and I didn't know what I would find on the other side. But I had my boot black kit. I still had people that I was talking to in the community, people that I knew loved me and that I loved them, and we had managed to maintain in contact through, at this point, a year and a half of being terrified of each other. But the community was there again. Slowly and surely, we rebuilt. Slowly and surely, we saw each other again. We offered each other comfort that was very needed after a year and a half of just barely being able to touch. I remember I was out in the community at one point doing some very well-guarded shopping. Vaccines hadn't actually come out yet, and I'm going to apologize now for what I'm about to say. I saw two very good friends of mine out. We were all masked, we were keeping a distance. I had a moment of weakness, and they held me despite everything. I broke, and I was terrified, but I needed the touch. I needed to know people were there. After all that, 2020 comes and goes, 2021 comes and goes. I get my Sundays back at the Barracks. I get to take care of my community in a tangible, physical way. I get to hear the stories. I get to hear the history again. I get to see the people again up close. And I get to embrace my friends and my family and my loved ones again. And then shortly after that, I decided to fuck up and go for a title again. By the way, can I just say it's incredibly intimidating to have your resume read right after fucking Mark Fraser? He gets like a 3-page Wikipedia entry. I have like a footnote. But that's also my own fault because I decide to not rest on whatever the fuck, I don't know. I get in my head. I don't know if you've noticed that.
No.
So I decided to go for Mr. Palm Springs. I went for Mr. Off-Ramp, I went for Mr. Palm Springs, I fucked up in one. And I had people in my ear going, you're gonna do well at IML. I'm like, no. No, really, you're gonna do really well at IML. I'm like, top 50% maybe. I get onto that stage at IML, the end of the first day. I'm in a group that's having their interviews later, Saturday morning. I hadn't even had the interviews yet. All I got to do was go on stage, say, hi, I'm Renee, and that was it. And at that point, I got to embrace myself unapologetically and entirely as I am. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? I could come in last place, I'm happy. Obviously, that's not what happened, but it was being in that moment of celebrating authenticity that I was like, we all fucking won this. We hear these catchphrases of every time we dance, we win. Every time we fuck, we win. Every time we kiss, we win. Given the current political shitstorm around us, every time we decide to proclaim, this is who I am, we fucking win. Now, ever since May, I've had this running track in the back of my head because I've been so busy. I've been traveling, I have been tired. And I have reached out to a few friends and I've asked, should I be apologizing? I left my community to go and explore and meet new people. Should I be apologizing to my community for not being there the way that I signed up to be? And every time they said, no, we'll still be here. You have work to do. And I want to apologize now, not for not having been there, but because I can no longer be here. About 2 weeks ago, my daddy and I traveled to the border to get my visa renewed, and it was denied. I've been terrified of saying those words out loud because it makes it real. So come Christmas, I'm going to be back in Canada. I'm going to be in Montreal. And I'm scared again. Will I find community again?
You sure will. You sure will.
Here's the thing that I have come to learn. Community is where you build it. Community is where you make the effort to do that. Community is where it doesn't matter if you're the domliest dom top that existed or the biggest sissy bitch. Community is wherever it exists, wherever you allow yourself the authenticity to encourage others by doing the same just from your presence. Community is built. When I was at IML, I had 90 seconds to give a speech to the best of my ability, and it's literally 90 seconds. They cut the mic off at that point. So I was like, okay, let's see what I can do, right? And I was saying that community is all of us. Every single person in this room, every single person hiding in their apartment on Sniffy's hoping for a connection. Every single person that is watching reruns of Queer as Folk wishing that they had that courage. Every single person that just bought their first harness. The lesbians who have been fucking picking up the pieces for decades. The black pups that are yearning for authenticity and representation. The boot black that used to go by Jill, but is named Jack. All are our community. I'm sorry to recycle a diatribe, but Divided we fall. Together we fucking win. One of the things I've been very careful about since I moved here, being an immigrant, essentially, is not being overly politically vocal, because getting on the wrong political radar at the wrong time gets you kicked out of the country. Well, now that that's done anyway, trans rights are being ripped away. The trans community, by the way, is at the same place fighting the same fucking battles the gay community has been fighting since the early 90s, if not longer. History is cyclical and they need our fucking help. Women's rights are getting stripped. If you think it's gonna end at fucking abortion rights, they're looking at taking away gay marriage again at this point. If you think it's gonna stop there, no, it's gonna stop at PrEP. It's going to stop at HIV care. It's going to keep going towards a full fucking genocide unless the orange shit giving gets stopped. So, I'm going to make you a promise. You never know where the fuck I'm going to show up. I've kind of figured that out. It's like, one weekend I'm going to be in, San Francisco. The next weekend I'm going to be in Montana giving a speech to sexual therapy psychologists. True story. But I promise to keep building community as best I can. I promise that wherever I end up, I will keep doing my best to use my voice, my privilege as a cis white guy, to take the target off of those that can't speak up. And I look at this room and I see a lot of potential for other people to do the exact fucking same and make sure we make it out of this alive. So as I said at IML, they're trying to divide us and make us easier to swallow. Let's make them fucking choke.